In 1944, German test pilots from the Luftwaffe received an order that would completely change their perception of American aviation. They were to intensively test a captured Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, expecting to find the typical weaknesses of poorly designed American planes. What they discovered left them in absolute shock. The fighter they disparagingly nicknamed Jug, due to its robust shape, proved to be such a formidable war machine that it forced the Luftwaffe to completely rewrite its air combat manuals. German reports, discovered decades later, contained a surprising confession. They had drastically underestimated not only this aircraft, but the entire American industrial and technological capability. This discovery would forever transform the way Germans viewed their adversaries in the sky. The P-47D2RE, serial number 42-8370, nicknamed Alabama Bound, had been shot down during an escort mission over German territory. Originally belonging to the 355th Fighter Group, 357th Fighter Squadron, the aircraft was quickly transported to the secret facilities of Zirkus Rosarius, a special Luftwaffe unit dedicated exclusively to testing captured aircraft. German engineers, accustomed to the European design philosophy that prioritized lightness and agility, were initially perplexed by the colossal weight of the American machine. At 14,000 pounds fully loaded, the Thunderbolt weighed almost twice as much as a Messerschmitt Bf 109. German technicians scoffed among themselves, calling it the American flying tank, and predicting it would be an easy target in the skis. This initial arrogance would soon turn into profound respect. When the first engine tests began, German engineers faced their first devastating surprise. The Thunderbolt's Pratt & Whitney R2800 double Wasp produced an incredible 2,300 horsepower, significantly outperforming any German engine in production. Even more impressive was the absolute reliability of the American machine. While German engines required constant maintenance and operated on inferior synthetic fuel due to the Allied blockade, the American engine ran smoothly hour after hour. German reports documented with growing admiration how the R2800 maintained its maximum power for prolonged periods without overheating or mechanical failures. A German engineer wrote in his diary, "This American engine runs like a Swiss watch, but with the strength of a locomotive. Our industry has never been able to produce anything remotely comparable in terms of combined raw power and reliability." Flight tests revealed even more surprising characteristics. German test pilot Hauptmann Klaus Weber, a veteran with over 200 combat missions, reported his initial experience with complete disbelief. During takeoff, he expected the excessive weight to make the aircraft slow and clumsy. Instead, the Thunderbolt accelerated down the runway with impressive force, taking off in less than 1,200 feet. Initial climb was equally revealing. Despite its weight, the P-47 climbed at a rate of 3,200 feet per minute, easily surpassing many German fighters. Weber wrote in his official report, "The raw power of this American engine completely compensates for the additional weight. In fact, the extra mass seems to contribute to the aircraft's stability in all flight conditions." This discovery forced the Germans to completely reconsider their theories on combat aircraft design. During high-altitude tests, the Germans discovered perhaps the most impressive characteristic of the Thunderbolt: its exceptional performance at high altitudes. While most German fighters lost significant power above 25,000 feet, the P-47 maintained its performance up to altitudes of 40,000 feet, thanks to its sophisticated turbocharger system. German pilots were astonished to find that they could easily outclimb any German interceptor simply by ascending to altitudes where their own planes became practically useless. The German technical report noted with forced admiration, "The Americans have created a fighter that completely dominates the airspace at altitudes where our best interceptors can barely operate. This technological advantage represents a strategic superiority we had not anticipated." The implication was clear. The Germans had lost control of the skis at crucial altitudes for the war. Armament tests revealed another terrifying aspect of American design. The P-47 carried 850 caliber Browning M2 machine guns, each with 350 rounds. During firing tests, the Germans were shocked by the devastating firepower. A single 2-second burst released over 200 high-velocity projectiles, capable of completely destroying any German aircraft. Even more impressive was the precision of the American aiming system and the absolute reliability of the weapons. While German machine guns often jammed due to extreme cold at high altitudes, the American Brownings functioned perfectly in all conditions. A German armorer commented in his report, "These American machine guns are engineering masterpieces. They fire with surgical precision and never fail, even after thousands of rounds. Our armaments industry is decades behind this technology." The superiority of American weaponry was undeniable and terrifying. During structural resistance tests, German engineers discovered that they had completely underestimated the robustness of American construction. The P-47 was subjected to extreme maneuvers that would have destroyed most German fighters. High-speed dives, tight turns with extreme G-forces, and even intense combat simulations failed to cause any significant structural damage. The Thunderbolt's all-metal fuselage, unlike the mixed wood-metal construction common in German aircraft, demonstrated extraordinary resistance. German reports documented cases where P-47s had returned to base with damage that would have been fatal to any German fighter. Cannon holes in the fuselage, parts of the wing torn off, and even destroyed engine cylinders. A German structural engineer wrote with reluctant admiration, "The Americans have built a fighter that can absorb unbelievable punishment and still bring its pilot home. Our philosophy of lightweight construction is fundamentally wrong for modern warfare." Load capacity tests revealed versatility that the Germans had not imagined possible in a fighter. The P-47 could carry up to 2,500 pounds of bombs or external fuel tanks, instantly transforming from an interceptor into a ground attack bomber. During ground attack demonstrations, German pilots were impressed by the Thunderbolt's precision and effectiveness against armored targets. The 500-pound bombs carried by the P-47 were capable of destroying German tanks with ease, while the fire from the 8 machine guns devastated light vehicles and infantry positions. This dual capability represented a revolution in combat aviation that the Germans had not anticipated. A Luftwaffe officer noted in his report, "The Americans have created an aircraft that can dominate both air combat and ground support." This versatility exponentially multiplies its operational effectiveness and represents an overwhelming strategic advantage. As the tests progressed, the reality of American superiority became undeniable for the German pilots. Hauptmann Weber, initially skeptical, wrote in his final report a confession that shocked the Luftwaffe high command. "This American aircraft is superior to our best fighter in practically every measurable aspect. Its power, endurance, armament, and versatility represent a level of engineering that our industry simply cannot match with the available resources." Other test pilots reported similar experiences of forced humility in the face of American technology. The captured P-47, repainted with German markings T9 plus FK, became a silent symbol of the growing technological disparity between Germany and the United States. The Germans realized that they were not just fighting American pilots, but an entire industrial machine capable of producing thousands of these superior aircraft monthly. The most devastating discovery came when the Germans tried to reproduce aspects of the American design. Their engineers realized that the P-47's superiority lay not just in individual components, but in the systemic integration of advanced technologies that Germany simply did not possess. The turbocharger system, high-quality materials, manufacturing precision, and even high-octane fuels were products of an industrial base that the Germans could not replicate. Even more terrifying was the implication for American production capacity. While Germany struggled to produce a few hundred fighters per month with decreasing quality, the Americans were producing thousands of P-47s monthly, each superior to the best German fighters. A German intelligence report gloomily concluded, "If the Americans can produce aircraft of this quality en masse, our air situation is desperate. We are not just losing the war in the air. We are being technologically surpassed by a margin that may be impossible to overcome." The psychological impact on German pilots was profound and lasting. Many Luftwaffe veterans, who had dominated European skies in the early years of the war, now faced the reality that their American adversaries flew machines superior in every aspect. This revelation significantly undermined the morale and confidence of German pilots, who began to avoid direct confrontations with P-47s whenever possible. The captured Thunderbolt was eventually recaptured by American troops in Göttingen in late 1944, but the psychological damage was already done. German reports on the P-47, discovered after the war, revealed a truth that forever changed our understanding of World War II. The Allied victory was not just a result of superior numbers, but of an overwhelming technological and industrial superiority that forced even the proud German engineers to admit their defeat. The American flying tank had become the symbol of the inevitability of Allied victory in the skies.